Good to see people. Good to see people still joining us. We've got good numbers. So welcome, everybody. So this is what we're doing today. We've got a special combined lesson. So I've been teaching my 20 students at Northumbria University for the past 10 weeks. And I've been teaching 20 students from the Islamic University of Gaza for the last 9 weeks, okay? And today we are doing a special combined lesson on Zoom. And our purpose is to meet English language, trainee English language teachers in another part of the world, and to revise Ellis's principles of instructed language learning. So that's the most important thing that we're doing today, yeah? And the plan for our 2 hours today is that we will have some brief introductions from myself and Nazmi, just 1 minute to explain a little bit about our students, and then a little reminder of Ellis's principles. We'll be looking at each principle in turn, and this is to help, in particular, my students at Northumbria with their assignment task, which I'll talk more about. And then we'll be discussing which principles convince you the most, okay? And we'll be preparing some questions for Professor Ellis, the man who wrote the article, and we'll be meeting him next week. And we'll have a final word from Nazmi and from Salah, who whose support has been incredible for this collaboration. So thank you. So who we are. Let's start with who we are. We'll be working in groups shortly, but we'll start by a little overview of who we are. And I'm going to tell you just in 1 minute about our students from Northumbria University. And then Nazmi, if you could do the same, just 1 minute for the students at the Islamic University of Gaza. And excuse me, everybody, you will have an opportunity to speak together, student to student, very soon, okay? So, my students, I'm the teacher of Introduction to the TESOL classroom, and I have a very nice group this year who are taking this module, and a lot of them will go on. Well, many of the people on Introduction to the TESOL classroom, the course, will go on to become teachers, or they will decide to take a different way forward in life. But obviously, teaching is an interest that you have on my course, yeah. And we're preparing for an exam at the end of the course, okay, a little an essay that my students will have to write. Now, 90% of my students are at Northumbria University are mother tongue English language speakers. Not everybody, but 90%, I think, in my class at Northumbria University have English as an L1. That means the first language is English. So Nazmi, that's my group of students, okay, my 20 students. Can you tell me in 1 minute about your 20 students?
Okay, thank you, Bill. It's nice meeting you all. And my name is Nazmi. I am a teacher of the English language department at the Islamic University of Gaza in Palestine. And I have been teaching English for the last 30 years after I got my PhD from Manchester University in the UK 30 years ago exactly, this year. And I teach different language skills, including oral communication and language teaching, and the training teachers as well. My students are first-year students, and they study the course with me entitled Oral Communication Skills. Now, most of them are also taking oral communication too with me. All of them in this group are selected according to their achievement, academic achievements at the school and university. Um, they are highly motivated to master English and to excel in English. And I will leave the floor maybe to them when they communicate with you. They speak on behalf of themselves through their actions. Actions speak louder than words. And let's see in a few minutes. Thank you, Bill, for organizing this collaborative session. We are happy to meet your students today.
It's my pleasure, Nazmi. It's my complete pleasure. I'm looking forward to it. So, what we've been studying for the past 2 months is every week we've looked at a principle from Professor Ellis's article, Principles of Instructed Language Learning. He wrote it in 2005. And we can say that this article has been the spine of our course, the central part of our course, okay? Now, these are the principles that we've looked at. We've looked at 8 of his 10 principles. We've looked first at principle 9, which was learner differences and motivation. And then we looked at principle 1, which looked at learning rules compared to learning formulaic expressions. And then we looked at principle 2, the importance of focusing on meaning. And then we looked at principle 4, the difference between learning implicit knowledge and learning explicit knowledge. Then we looked at principle 3, focusing on form. And then on principle 6, the importance of input. And then on principle 7, the importance of output. And finally, you're prepared for this week by looking at interaction in the classroom, principle 8. Okay. So now here's the first question for you. In the course that we did together over the past 2 months, did I follow the same order as Professor Ellis's principles? Okay, so I see you have your hand up. Just a second, Mace, but let's have a look again. So is my order the same as Professor Ellis's order? So Mace, you had your hand up. What did you think?
I think you didn't follow the same order because you started from principle number 9, then principle number 1, then 2, then 4, then 3. So not the same order.
Exactly, Mace. You can see there was a difference. Yes, I think in general I started with low numbers and I moved towards higher numbers. But I did change the order a little bit. As Mace said, I started with number 9. Yeah. So here's another question then. More or less, I followed the same order, but Mace is right. I started with number 9. We started the course with something which I consider a key issue, motivation. And today, we're ending with something that Nazmi considers a key issue, interaction. So you could say that I've book-ended the course with 2 things that we consider important, motivation and today, interaction. Okay. So let's go back and we're going to take a step back before we look at the principles and think about language learning in the UK and in Palestine. So I don't know if you remember, but in my life, I've tried to learn Russian, Spanish, Arabic, Tigrinya, and Italian. And I've only succeeded with one of these, okay? And I'm a very lucky person because I have the opportunity to travel. many people in the UK have the chance to travel. But despite having this chance to travel, I'm not a great language learner. Of all of these languages, I've only managed to learn Italian, despite studying, okay? And I think I'm a pretty typical case of somebody from the UK, okay? But in Gaza, people haven't had the opportunity to travel. And yet, people in Gaza, people in Palestine in general, are very successful language learners. So I wonder if we, language teachers in the UK, can we learn anything useful from you, language learners in Palestine? Because you've learned English, your English is very good. What did you do to get this proficient English that you have? Because if we can understand this, maybe this can help us become more effective teachers. So, we're going to divide you into groups of 4 or 5 people, okay? And we're going to try to mix students from Northumbria University with students from the Islamic University of Gaza, okay? So this is a little, it's what we call an icebreaker. So it's a chance to say hello, okay? And I would like you to introduce yourselves. Just give your names and your interests, okay? So just 30 seconds each person. And then Islamic University of Gaza students, I want you to tell the Northumbria students what has made you a successful learner of English. Okay? And then, Northumbria students, do you have any language learning successes to relate? Excuse me, my students from Northumbria, maybe you are angry. Maybe you said, oh, Bill, just because you are a bad language learner doesn't mean that I'm a bad language learner. So it's possible that some of the Northumbria students will have very good language learning experiences. But in general, in the UK, we are not good language learners, okay? So I hope that's clear, okay? 30 seconds to introduce yourselves each, names and interests. Then the focus is on IUG students. What has made you a successful learner of English? And Northumbria students, feel free to trumpet your achievements in language learning if you feel that you have some success stories, okay? And can you see my tip at the bottom? Be inquisitive. What does it mean? Can somebody tell me, what does it mean to be?
Curious.
You're excellent, Zaina. Thank you. It means being curious. It means it's good to ask questions. In my experience at university, students who ask questions do well. It's simple. So be inquisitive. Okay. So, Nazmi, are you ready to put people in breakout rooms, Nazmi?
Yes, I can start now.
You
Give
just
me a
want-
few seconds.
Yeah.
Just a few
So
seconds to.
in total, you will only have 6 minutes together, okay, in the breakout rooms.
Okay.
And at the end, I will ask one Northumbria student to report back on anything of interest, which is linked to learning a language, okay? Don't worry if you are from IUG, later on, it's your turn to report back, okay? But for the first time, I will ask one Northumbria student to report back on anything of interest from each group. Okay. All right then. So Nazmi, are you ready or?
Yes, yeah, I'm going to sort them, yeah, to 5 groups because the
Fantastic.
number 4 groups, yes, which means about 5 in each group, 4 to 5, as you said.
Fantastic.
Assign
Okay.
automatically,
Then
assign manually. Let person choose room. Okay, assign when create.
you have 6 minutes.
Okay,
Everybody.
assign. Okay, room 1, Amal, Ala, and I've got the names, the rooms, so I'll follow what I have the groups.
Good.
Nathan, okay, I to Asil and Hala. Hala's not there. Rakat, okay. Hi, group 1, okay. Okay. Okay, room 2, and we have got room 2, Jessica, Jess, okay, okay, Amal, yeah, okay, Jasmine, Libby, Rose, okay, okay, Isra, Jessica, okay, Sarah, okay, okay, now room 4, nice. No, I need to change a bit. The number of students from IUG are too many, so need to mix them a bit because I was expecting more. Okay, never mind. I can move. Okay, move to room. No, see nothing. Okay, this room, room 1, room 2. Okay, room 2.
It's good to see you at work, Nazmi. You're very impressive.
Thank you. So 4, 5, 5. Yeah, here is room 2, and you want to increase this to from uh, you know. Okay. So I've got 4 students. Ala, Asil, Nathan, Ragad, and that's it. Group 2, Amal, Bia, Jasmine, Libby, Rus, and Hiba. Let me add Hiba here. No, let's see, add it in the next one. Good 4, because some students keep coming in, so I need to make sure that they are added.
Yeah.
Now all groups have good 5, 5, except room 1, it has 4. All rooms have mixed. I want to just last minute to check that they have good mixed, balanced mixed to some extent, as much as I can. Great. Yes. Okay. I'll now. They are open now, and you can start joining your rooms.
6 minutes. Thank you, everybody.
Yes. I can see some are doing well, joining all rooms.
Can I speak to you, Nazmi?
Yeah. Now, Rus, yes, you should join a room. Rus, can see you. Rosanna? Or has anybody hasn't joined any room?
Yeah, I think Ala and Amna.
Allah should join. Okay, move to room. No, they should join you room 1. Ala and Amina, not joined. I added them into group 1. Ala and Amina, can you hear us? Hello, Ala and Amina, can you hear us, Ala and Amina? Or can you join group 1, please? Or room 1? I think they're not there, or they cannot hear us.
Nazmi, can I speak?
Yeah.
Am I correct that the other students cannot hear us now? Yeah.
No, you can't. Except Allah and Amina, if they can hear us.
Can you tell me that these groups,
Yeah.
will they remain
Good.
the same?
Allah,
And they can provide a challenge for learners to change what they're trying to say. Yeah. Okay. So in paragraph 2, for interaction, Ellis talked about the importance of opportunities for negotiating meaning and of scaffolding. So scaffolding talks about how we support learners in their journey towards better language skills, just like you support a building, right, with scaffolding while you're creating it. So he then lists 4 key requirements for interaction. So I'm going to show you the 4 key requirements, and I'll ask you, which of these items relates more to negotiating meaning and which to scaffolding? Okay, so he talks about 4 key requirements for interaction. 2 of them are talking about negotiating meaning, and 2 of them are talking about scaffolding. So no talking, just think which 2 for negotiating meaning and which 2 for scaffolding. But 2 of these talk about negotiating meaning, linked to the importance of interaction, and 2 of them talk about
The
scaffolding.
first one and the last one about negotiating meaning.
That's Zaina, yeah? Who said this?
Yes.
Yeah. Does
Zena.
everybody agree with Zaina, or do you have a different idea? Think for a minute.
I think totally the opposite, 2 and 3.
Okay. Let's start at the first. If you're creating a context of language use where students have reason to attend to language. Attend to means pay attention to. So if they're paying attention to language, I think they are create a context. You're talking about paying attention to language use, you have to negotiate meaning. Negotiating meaning is the first. Providing opportunities for learners to use the language to express their own personal meanings. Personal meanings. Again, meaning tells us we're talking about negotiating meaning. You say one thing, I say another. We have to express ourselves. So I'm sorry to zoom forward, but I think probably I would divide them like these. Okay. So I'm really sorry that we've had to rush but we've only got a short time left, okay? And I want to put you back into groups again, okay? So we've looked at 8 of Ellis's principles, okay? Learn the differences, rules, so principle of 9, 1, 2, 4, 3, 6, 7, and 8, okay? But there's a problem. In the system article, Ellis has tried to simplify an incredibly complex issue, that is instructed second language learning. And in the introduction, he himself says that it's an almost impossible task. So it's natural that you will have many doubts and questions, okay? I'm sure you must have doubts and questions because you are just beginning to study how to teach languages, okay? I've been teaching for 30 years. Nazmi's been teaching for 30 years, and we still have doubts and questions, okay? And for example, you remember that I highlighted some areas in green. For example, focus on input, okay? What about using the learners, excuse me, another mistake there, learners L1 in the classroom? That's something I'm unsure about, because it's fashionable now to use the first language sometimes in the classroom. Another question I have in the focus on output, I'm still unsure about how auto input would work. Okay, so there are things I'm still unclear about. Now, Professor Rod Ellis, he's a really important man in the world of English language teaching. And when I told him about our course at Northumbria University and the Islamic University of Gaza, he said he wanted to meet you and he's happy to answer any questions, okay? And I'd like to ask him those 2 questions, okay? And I'm sure that there are things that you would like to ask him, things that you still are unsure about. Is there anything you'd like to ask him? So I'm going to put you back into groups again. And I would like you to, in your groups, try to think of at least one question to ask Professor Ellis. Okay? And also, I would like you to decide which 2 principles you believe are central to successful language teaching. Okay, so you've got 2 things to do. Think of a question to ask Professor Ellis next week, and then try to decide which are the 2 most central principles for you, okay? And then after 10 minutes, we can share our ideas, okay? And I think I will ask, this time I will ask an Islamic University of Gaza student to be the spokesperson, okay? So Nazmi, in a minute, will you be able to put everybody back into their groups, Nazmi?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, can I tell you, everybody, which group we would like you to go into? Yeah. So for group number 1, we have Asil.
They will remain, Bill. They will, sorry, Bill. They will stay as they are.
Okay.
Now, as I have them, but they quickly, because some of them from Gaza, especially, who left or disconnected and come back, they have to tell us which room or which room to join. I can sort them out quickly now.
Okay, so
I will open the rooms for everybody and add, for example, Ala, you were in room 1. I will add you to room 1. Mais, which room were you in? I think in room 2, Mais. I will add you to room 2, Mais. And Taqwa, you were in room 4. So I'll move you to room 4 back. That's at least those who are now with us, joining us now.
okay, and I think
so
we will move B to another room.
I already moved him. I moved. The
Okay.
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 And now they are
So-
open now. They can join their groups.
So you have two things to do: a question for Professor Ellis, and try to decide which principles you believe are.
They can join their groups now.
Okay. Thank you. 10 minutes.
Swear again, Bill.
We have students missing from room.
Yeah, because now when they are in the groups.
Yeah. Okay.
Still they are finishing maybe their discussion,
Yep.
and then we'll come back. Are coming now. If you look at the participants, the number has reached 17 now.
Good, good. So tell me, Nazmi, when we're ready to talk again.
They are all back now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. If you can hear me, can you shout?
Yes, we can hear
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good to hear your voices again. Excuse me. So, can you share your questions or your ideas? So, we have group number 1. I think this was Asil, Nathan, Rachad, Amna, Amal. Alaa, do you have a question or an idea that you would like to share? From group 1? Asil, yep.
Yes, we thought that one of the questions that we should ask Dr. Ellis that if he could redesign a second language curriculum from scratch, what would you add or change to make it more effective?
Oh, wow. Oh, my word. That's a great question to start. That's a great question, Nazmi, isn't it? I'm sure you'll be very interested in answering that. Nazmi, why are you laughing like me? Yeah.
I would like, if it is possible, that the groups share their questions on the chat. That would be good, so everybody can see the questions of everyone else, if possible. If not, just they can say it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. That's a lovely question, Asil. Okay.
Yes, my other classmate in the room also have another question.
Go on,
But
please.
yes, but that was my question.
Okay. Another. You want to share in the group?
No, I said my question.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else from your group, though, Asil? Any other ideas, questions?
I think they can talk their opinion.
For me, my question.
Who is this?
If a group 2,
Can I
room
say
2.
my question?
Okay, just a second. Let's go to group 2. So group 2, I think we have Amal, Libby, Roos, yeah, in this group. Can somebody
Yeah,
share?
got Jasmine and Jasmine or Yasmin
Jessica,
and
yes.
Mais
Yeah.
and Isra, all in a group 2, room 2.
Ah, okay.
And also,
Okay, Nazmi, can you tell me who is in so Esra's group? Yeah.
yeah, room 2, Amal, Isra, Jasmine, Mais.
Okay, so this group 2, could somebody share a question for Professor Ellis?
Hello? Anybody there in room 2?
Yes. Actually, Amal raised a question and I like it. She says that we can ask Professor Ellis about his opinion in technology contributing in second language acquisition. Like we are evolving and in a modern life and technology is there, internet is there. How can that contribute in acquiring a second language?
It's a good question. And it would be interesting to think which of his principles technology is relates to. I will think more about that. Okay, but thank you for that. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Nazmi?
Yeah, I would guess all principles, because when the article was written, if you remember the date of the article, technology wasn't as advanced as it is nowadays.
Yeah, the internet,
Otherwise, yeah.
The internet was a baby in 2005. That's true. Yeah. So another group, Nazmi, can you tell me who is in another group?
Yeah. Room 3, Hala, Jessica, Nada, Sarah.
Okay, somebody from this group.
Anybody home? Anybody home in room 3? Hello?
Nada.
Yes, Nada. You have Nada, yes.
You have a question, Nada?
Yes, we have a question. It is not a deep question, actually, but Professor Ellis mentioned the motivation a lot in his study, but he hasn't mentioned how to raise that motivation or how to increase it in the students. And it is a big problem that myself, I suffer with it because every time I lose motivation, like I haven't ever reached any goal I aim to because of losing motivation. And actually, I asked ChatGPT to see if there's an answer, or if it is just a personal issue. And actually, there's an answer, but it is a general one. Like it is not a really deep one. So I would like to ask Professor Ellis about it.
Thank you. Okay. I agree. It's a super important question. Yeah, that's why I started with motivation. Yeah. Okay, the final group, Nazmi, who is in the final group?
Hala is raising her hand from group 3. We can just listen to what she wants to say, and then we move to last group, room 4. After Hala. Yes, Hala.
Thank you, Dr. Nazmi. I would say that I'd be afraid to ask Professor Ellis any question because, you know, he's a professor and he knows what he wrote. And I'm afraid that I'll ask a silly question that the answer between the lines or maybe in front of me, but I didn't yet because I didn't focus here or maybe he will feel like offense, so I'm really shy to ask him. And the second question, I believe that the teacher should use all the principles, because it's not just like there's one method that you should use it. Everyone completes the other. I believe that's my opinion.
Hello, that's interesting. But don't be shy, because I've been teaching for 30 years and I still have lots of questions. And I think Nazmi probably has questions. And even you notice that I didn't talk about 2 of the principles because in my opinion, I don't think they are very important. So I disagree a little bit with Ellis. I didn't mention 2 of his principles, you know? So Hala, don't be shy, okay? Because we don't understand everything. Even me, even Nazmi.
Okay, I'll try.
Don't be frightened. And Nazmi, the last group.
Okay.
Who's in the last group?
Yes, sorry, Isra. Let's move to room 4. We have got B, Robbie, Sandos, Zaina.
Okay. What question do you have for Professor Ellis?
I think Taqwa and Sundus have a questions.
Okay. Takwa, Sundus?
Yes, we are. Anybody in room 4?
Taqwa's question was
Yeah.
Principle 8. The last sentence she said about using your first language.
Okay.
Yes,
So
this is our question. I think we disagree in what he said. I think yes, first language important, so not as the second language certainty, like but yeah, the first language I think it's important.
so you would be happy to use the first language in the language classroom?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
interesting.
in limited.
Limited, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, we have some questions for Professor Ellis, and I will send them to him. And so, Nazmi, can I pass over to you? We're running late, so maybe just 3 minutes. Can you just talk for 3 minutes, and then Salah, we can let Salah talk as well, yeah?
Okay, yes, thank you. I know that we are 20 minutes late or behind the schedule, but it's okay. I would just talking about this session and this program and our university. I would start by saying, in fact, Dr. Will initiated this.
Oh, Nazmi has frozen. Oh. This
As a way of supporting the students, and the students were keen to join this course as a way of academic support from Northumbria University to the Islamic University of Gaza. Our university has about 17 students. It was destroyed completely, including the library during this war. And yet, it took us, the war has been going on for the last 14 months, and now started the 15th month. Though we faced all these unexpected challenges, and we started teaching online, where, in fact, the students themselves encouraged us in the university administration and as academics to continue teaching them. When at the beginning of this course, where these students who are attending this course, all of them started or trial short 8-week course. To my surprise, I was expecting 40 students to apply and register and enroll in my course. To my surprise, 100 students joined. And in the next semester, the current semester now, 170 students are trying their best to show their resilience and commitment to education, and also that education to the Palestinians, a lifeline, not for academic and socio-economic purposes, but also through technology and language. We can breathe, we can communicate, we can get out of the siege and war and the terrible mood of all consequences of the war and displacement, where people are living in makeshift tents, literally on the streets. Most of them, about 2 million people, are living or have been living so. Yet the students, as you can see, I am sure the students, some of them are now talking from the streets or from cafes or wherever they can, and I'm sure they work very hard to consume power and on their mobiles and laptops because no electricity at all in Gaza nowadays. We depend mainly to some limited solar panels in winter time, where sunshine and sunlight is very limited for a few hours and not daily. I would like to thank all the students from the University of Northumbria, and we are really proud of working with you, and we hope we can work more and more and collaborate with you more, and in full collaboration and coordination with Dr. Bill, who have been working with us for years, trying to support Palestinian education and Palestinian students. Doing this collaborative work is really a source of pride and gratitude to Bill and to the University of Northumbria and to the students, your students, Bill. We thank them for joining us and for working with us and collaborating with us, and wishing you all the best success. And as we are coming to the new year, we wish you Happy New Year early in advance. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very kind. It's our privilege to work with you. But I do want to say a particular thank you to our Northumbria students who have joined, because I know it's unusual for you to be working on Zoom, and I know it's a challenge which you don't, this is the first time maybe that you've had a Zoom lesson. So Nathan, Libby, B, Jess, Sarah, Ruby. I know other people tried to join, for example, Ethan, but there were difficulties with the internet. Even in the UK, there were difficulties with the internet for some students. So I would also like to introduce another person who is very important. In a minute, just to finish, I will pass over to the students if you want to say something. But could I just introduce Salah, who has been working on a very important initiative called Hope Hubs to try to support education and businesses in Gaza. So Salah, would you like to spend just a couple of minutes talking about your Hope Hub initiative, and then we will hand over to the students.
Hi everyone. This is Salah, and I would like to thank Dr. Bill and Dr. Nazmi for this great session. Also, I would like to thank you so much, the students from Northumbria and from the Islamic University, for joining us today. I believe it was wonderful to see you and to see your active participation, especially in the break rooms. And let me talk more about Hope Hub. Hope Hub is an initiative that trying to help students, freelancers, remote workers, also companies to back to work, also to build the capacities of people. We are trying to build the skills, find jobs, and help the people to succeed in their careers. So we are trying to help the freelancers and remote workers and students to providing them by tools, guidance, mentoring, and required training to let them back to work, especially in the current situation in Gaza. It was great to see you today and seeing your interest and interaction. And I hope we can see this kind of interaction at the next session. And finally, thank you once again for being part of today's sessions. Thank you, Dr. Bill, and thank you, Dr. Nazmi.
Thank you, Salah. So just to repeat, Salah is running an enterprise called Hope Hub, where people can go and study even when there is no electricity or when they have no laptops or computers in Gaza. Fantastic initiative. So our final lesson. So for Northumbria students, our final lesson will be next Tuesday at the normal time, face to face. For IUG students, Islamic University of Gaza students, our final lesson will be on Friday, the 20th of December at 9 a.m. Gaza time, okay? And Professor Ellis will answer your questions. And this is the link to the final session, okay? I hope you will have enough electricity on your laptops and your phones. I know it's very early in the morning. Now, Northumbria students, you are very, very welcome to join us for an extra lesson on Friday, the 20th of December. Despite the timing, excuse me, Libby, B, Nathan, Jess, Sarah, Ruby, do you know what time 9 a.m. in Gaza is? Do you know what time it is in the UK?
Is it 7 a.m.?
It's crazy. It's 7 a.m. Yes, Sarah. Okay. So I have no choice in this because our professor expert, Professor Ellis, lives in New Zealand. Very unfortunate for us, but he wants to join us. So I think it will be 8 p.m. in New Zealand. It will be 9 a.m. in Gaza and 7 a.m. in the UK. I doubt that many of you will be out of bed at 7 a.m. on a Friday. I understand the problem, but you're very welcome to join us if you would like to, okay? And just to tell people from IUG, I know some of my colleagues want to join us, okay? And so you will not be alone when meeting Professor Ellis, because Professor Ellis is such an important person that my colleagues are impressed and they will get up early, okay? So students from Northumbria, you are welcome to join us, even if it's 7 o'clock, crazy time. Okay, even if you can't help join us, I hope this session has been useful preparation for your exam task at Northumbria. So look it up on Blackboard under assessment, and we'll talk more about the exam next Tuesday. And any final questions or comments from Northumbria or from Islamic University of Gaza students? So feel free to say anything you want. Just to Allah, Amna, what do you want to say?
Actually, I want to thank you for this wonderful lecture, Dr. Nazmi, Bill, and Dr. Salah, and my friends. Despite despite the poor internet connection, I really enjoyed this new experience, and I thank you for giving us this beautiful opportunity, and it will remain a wonderful impression in our hearts. Thank you.
Is this Allah or Amna?
Allah.
Allah, thank you, Allah. Okay, Mice, do you have something you'd like to say?
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to say in the end of this course, I want to thank you, Dr. Bill, for bringing hope back to us to complete our journey in learning English. I want to say it was a pleasure to meet you, students at Northumbria University. And you are so lucky to have Dr. Bill in your university. And for us, we are so lucky to have Dr. Nazmi also, because he always supports us and tell us that when there's a will, there's a way. And thank you for giving us this golden chance.
Okay, and just before I talk to Asil, if anybody from Northumbria wants to speak, you have been very shy today, so please, if somebody from Northumbria wants to say something, please put your hand up. Asil.
Yes, in fact, I don't have any question, but I also want to thank you. I truly want to thank you for this wonderful and exceptional opportunity that allowed us to practice the language once again. It has been a very enjoyable course with you, Dr. Pill and Dr. Nazmi. Thank you a lot.
Asil, thank you, and I will see you next week anyway, but thank you. Jess, what would you like to say?
I just want to say thank you as well. I really thought it was interesting to do it this way. It's different than usual, but it was really nice to be able to collaborate with different students that have learnt the same thing as us, but differently. And it was nice to hear different perspectives on the same thing that we're learning, but from people who English is their second language.
Thank you very much, Jess. I appreciate your comments. And B, what do you have to say?
Just kind of the same. It was really nice to meet everyone and to hear how passionate everyone is about English is so nice to hear, and how like yeah, just how passionate and excited everyone is, and just to learn little bits about everyone's personality as well when we were in like breakout rooms. It was just really nice, and it's a nice way to kind of meet other people doing the same course but as a second language, and it's just, yeah, it was crazy.
Crazy. That's fantastic. That's a really nice word. I like that. It means you enjoyed it, B, I think. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, well done.
And just thank you as well. Thank you for setting this up. It's been really cool.
I appreciate that. Okay. Jessica, have you still got your hand up, or if there's anything? Nope. Okay. Well, thank you all. And do remember that you're very welcome to come on Friday the 20th, 7 in the morning for the UK, 9 in the morning for Gaza students. And UK students, Northumbria students, I will see you anyway next Tuesday. Nazmi, thank you for your help and
Thank you.
inspiration to me as usual.